If you want to learn the basics of Microsoft Excel and how it works, please stay tuned in my tutorial as I show you. Hi there, it's Vanessa and welcome to my channel. In this video, I will introduce to you the basics of Microsoft Excel and we'll do a simple formatting. But before we move on, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Whenever I upload new videos, you will be notified. At the end of this tutorial, you will be knowledgeable what is Microsoft Excel. You will know the layout of a workbook and you can define some terms. But most especially, you can do a simple formatting. Now, let me ask you, what is Microsoft Excel? Well, obviously, it is a spreadsheet developed by Microsoft. From the word itself, Microsoft Excel. It enables you to organize, format, and calculate data using formulas. In order for you to better understand what I'm talking about, let's go ahead and open a Microsoft Excel workbook. I will be using the 2016 version. If you're using the older ones, there might be slight differences, but I'm sure 90 to 95% it will be the same. To open Microsoft Excel, you just need to double-click on the icon. In my case, I have a shortcut on my desktop. You can as well open Microsoft Excel from the Start menu, as shown on my screen. Once Microsoft Excel is open, it will show you different templates. There's a blank workbook. There's as well Welcome to Excel tour for all those first-timers. There are tutorials for you to get started with. And as we continue to scroll down, you can see a lot of different types of templates that is already prepared for you. There's a budget template, home inventory, invoice template, a schedule template, and so much more. You can as well search for a particular template that you want to work on the search box. For example, let's search for budget template. Just type budget and click search. Now there you go. As you've noticed, Microsoft Excel is showing you different types of budget templates that you can work on. You just need to browse through it, look into it, and then choose whatever is applicable for you, and you start working from there. Now let's move on. It is really best to learn Microsoft Excel by starting in a blank workbook. Just double-click the blank workbook for you to open your worksheet. Before I walk you through the layout of Microsoft Excel worksheet, let's define some terms first. You heard me say workbook, but sometimes I say worksheet. Do you know what's the difference between the two? Well, the entire Excel file is what you call a workbook. And workbook is made up of one or multiple worksheets. However, a worksheet is composed of a collection of cells within a workbook. One best example is a notebook. Just imagine a notebook as a workbook. Each pages in the notebook is what you call a worksheet. Okay, I hope you got it. Sometimes we call worksheets as spreadsheets or sheets. So those are the same. You already know what's the difference between a workbook and a worksheet. Now let me show you the layout of a Microsoft Excel workbook. On the upper left part of your workbook, you will have the Quick Access toolbar. You can customize this based on your requirement. So just click the drop-down arrow and it will show you the list of tools available. So you just choose whichever works best for you. Beside the Quick Access toolbar is the title bar. This is where you can see the title of the workbook you are currently working on. Now below this, you will have the File tab. You can access the Backstage options from here. Next to the File tab, you will have the Ribbon tabs. And below the Ribbon tabs are the ribbon. Now the ribbon is divided into groups, which is pretty organized. And each group is composed of commands. So this will be your primary interface in Excel, which it allows you to access most of the commands in the workbook. Now moving on to the upper right corner, you will see the control buttons. You have the exit, maximize, and minimize buttons. This one here is what you call the ribbon display options. Once you click it, it will show you three options. First, the auto hide ribbon. Of course, it will completely hide the ribbon in your workbook. You will not see it. Next is the show tabs option. It will only show you the ribbon tabs. So you just need to click on a tab to show the commands. And the last one is my favorite, which I always use, the show tabs and commands option. It shows you the ribbon tabs as well as the commands all the time. Now moving on, below the ribbon, on the left side, you will have the name box. It displays the name of the active cell on the worksheet. And this long rectangular box here is the formula bar. This is where you will see the contents of the current or active cell, which it allows you to create and view formulas. Now, the gray colored letters here is the column headers located at the upper part of the worksheet. And at the left part of the worksheet, you will see numbers. This is what you call the row headers. These small rectangular boxes in the spreadsheets are what you call cells. Now, a cell is an individual spot where rows and columns meet. Each of these cells has a name. It will be displayed in the name box, as I mentioned earlier. When you select a cell, you call it as an active cell. Now, this cell that I have selected, the name of this is K14. You know why it's K14? Since it is under column K and in row 14. Now, whenever you select a group of cells together, then you call it as a range. Moving on to the right side of the worksheet, you have the vertical scroll bar, and at the bottom, you have the horizontal scroll bar. Both of these scroll bars are used to scroll the data in the worksheet. For the vertical scroll bar, it scrolls for the rows, and the horizontal scroll bar is for the column. These tiny left and right arrows at the bottom corner of the worksheet is what you call the tab scroll. It is the means of navigating between sheets of the workbook. However, for now, it is inactive since we only have one worksheet. But if we have multiple worksheets, then this will be very useful. Now this is what you call the Sheet tab. It is used to display the worksheet you're currently working on. You can add, you can move, or you can rename a worksheet. You can add color as well if you're fond of colors. To add another sheet, just click this plus sign or the add button. And there you go. We have sheet 2. Now I wanted to rename sheet 1. So just right click on it, select rename, and I wanted to put expenses. Then click enter. And there's another way of doing that. Let's do it in sheet 2. Just double click sheet 2 and you can rename. Let's rename it as master, for example. But I wanted to put color on expenses. Right click on expenses, choose tab color, and I want red color. Just select red and click on it. Now there you go, we have the red color on expenses sheet. So let's continue with the layout. Below the sheet tab, at the bottom part of the worksheet, this is what you call the status bar. It displays various information about the worksheet. It can also be configured to display things like sum, count, and average of selected cells. To customize this, just right-click on it and it will show you choices of what information you want to see in your status bar. Then, just choose and click whatever you require. Now next to the status bar, are the page view buttons. We have the normal view as what we have right now. We have page layout view. Well, it divides your worksheet into separate pages. Then you can easily arrange contents over different pages. And this one is the page break view. It defines where one page ends and where another one begins. Now the last part is the zoom slider. It is next to the page view buttons. When you click this plus sign, it is the zoom in. It makes your worksheet bigger and your cells more visible. Now if you click this minus sign, which is the zoom out, it makes your cells small. However, you will have a wide range of the worksheet. Now you can see from A to AG, but it is really tiny. Now we're done with the layout of the worksheet. It's time for us to input data in our worksheet. For example, you want to monitor your month of April expenses. So in cell A1, let's type in date purchased. Okay. As you noticed, it doesn't fit in cell A1. It extends up to column B. But when you click column B, there's nothing there. So it means it's only in cell A1. So let's type something in cell B1, for example, item, and see what happens. Now, as you can see, date purchased has been cut. So what we want to do is we want to increase the size of column A. How to do that? Let's put our cursor in between column A and column B. Once you see that cross symbol with a left and right arrow, then you're good to go. Just click, hold it, and drag your mouse. Now, so you have increased the size of column A. There's another way of doing that. I'll show you. You put again your cursor in between A and B, and then you double click. There you go. It automatically increased the size. Okay, let's continue adding data. In cell C1, let's type in amount. Now in cell A1, let's type in the date. So 1st April 2020, and you went for groceries. Then you spent like 3,000, maybe, for example. You might be wondering, how am I going from next column to another column or from next row to another row? For going to the next column, just click Tab. And going back, just hold the Shift and Tab. Now, going to the next row, just press Enter. To go back, hold the Shift again and Enter. You can also use your arrow keys. So go right, go left, go down, your arrow down, and arrow up to go back up. But you can also use your mouse. Click, go to the next column or to the next row and just click. Alright?
Yeah!
So let me just finish adding our data and we'll do a simple formatting. I'll be right back. So these are the list of your expenses in April. How do you feel about it? Not with the amount that you spent, I mean with the layout or the presentation. I think it's pretty itemized. However, it's not that presentable, if you agree with me. Now I will show you how it looks like if you want to print this. So I'll just go to print preview. I'll click Ctrl F2. Now there it is. As you noticed, there's no title. It's pretty small. And I think it's crowded. So let's go back and organize our data to make it more presentable. So first, we wanted to put a heading or a title in our data. In order to do that, let's insert a row on top. So just right-click on cell A1, select Insert, and then it will give you choices. First, it will ask you if you want to shift the cells to the right. It means all your data in row 1, starting from column A, it will move to column B. Okay, so this is not what we want. Next, it will ask you if you want to shift your cells down. So it means all your data in column A, starting row 1, it will move to row 2. So this is not what we want. The next one is it's asking you if you want to insert an entire row. So let's do this. Okay, there's another way of adding an entire row. So let's put our cursor here in row 1, and as you notice, it became like a small black arrow. So you just right click on it and you click insert. And there it is. We have an additional row on top of our data. So we can now add a title. But before we add a title, let's add another column as well. So it's the same way on how you add the row. You right click in cell A1, click insert, and choose insert entire column. Click OK, and there it is. And another way, highlight full column A and click insert. Now we already have additional column. So in this column that we added, I wanted to put consecutive numbers. Now in cell A2, let's type number, and in the next row, let's type number 1. But I don't want to type one by one the numbers until I finish my data. If I have a lot of data here, it will be a waste of time doing that. So what I need to do is, I'll just click cell A3, and then I put my cursor at the bottom corner of the cell until it turns like a cross symbol. Then I drag it down until the end of the data. But you notice it's all number 1. It's not consecutive numbers. So this autofill options here, you just click the drop down arrow and you choose fill series. Now there it is. We have a number series. Another way of doing that, in the next row, you put number 2. And then you need to highlight both of them and you drag. Now we have a number. Instead of dragging, what you can do is, once you put your cursor at the bottom of the cells, just double click it and automatically it will fill the whole row with numbers. Okay? So now we already have numbers, then we can add our title. In cell A1, let's type in the title as April expenses. There you go. But since this is a title, I wanted it to be in the center of the data. I want it to occupy column A up to column D. So in how to do that? So just highlight row 1 from column A to column D, and then you go to your Home tab in Alignment Group. So you have here the Merge and Center. It means it combines and center the contents of the selected cells in a new larger cell. So you just click on it, and there you go. Now our title is in the center of our data. What we will do next is we will align our data. I want it to be in the center of the cells. So what I need to do is I'll just highlight everything, and then I'll go to the Alignment Group under Home tab ribbon. So as you can see here, this is the Align Left, this is the Align Center, and this is the Align Right. So for now, our alignment is mixed. Other columns is aligned right, others are aligned left, but I want all of them to be in the center. So I'll click the center alignment, and there it is. Okay? Now let's put a border. So we'll just highlight again everything. In the same Home tab under Font Group, you have here the borders. So just click the drop down arrow and it will show you different types of borders that you want to put. But for now, I want to put all borders in the data. So I'll just choose all borders, click on it, and there you go. Now we have a border. Next, I wanted to increase the size of the rows because I find it too congested or too crowded. So in order to do that, let's highlight everything. So you just click here from row 1 and then highlight it. And then you right click And you see this row height, click on it, and then let's type in, like, maybe I wanted 25, and click enter. Now there it is. But I wanted all my data to be in the middle of the cells, like this. As you notice, from column B to column D, all the data is in the middle of the cell. However, in column A, they are at the bottom of the cell. So in order to do that, so you highlight column A, and then you go here again in alignment group. Here on top, we have the top align, this is the middle align, and this is the bottom align. So for now, in column A, all the data are in bottom align. So we just need to choose this middle align. Now there it is. So everything now is in the middle of the cells. Oh, I forgot our title as well. So let's put it in the middle align. Yeah, there you go. So I wanted my April expenses title to be in color red. You go to font group again, click the font color, and choose red. There it is. But I find it a bit small, the size of the font, so I go to this font size, and then I choose 18. You can as well adjust the size by clicking these options. So I want to increase one by one. At least you can see immediately how it looks, and then decrease one by one. So let's settle in 18. Then the font style I wanted to change. For now, we have a Calibri since this is the default font of Microsoft. So let's choose, for example, Abadi. You have a lot of font styles here that you can choose. So, but for now, I'll settle in Abadi. Now let's put a color in the cell. So you go again to font group and then click this drop down arrow in fill color and choose, let's say, yellow. Okay, now we have a yellow. And this row 2 here, I want it to be in bold. So font group again, click this bold. I want this italicized and underline. It's up to you. And I want to put a color like light color only, like light green in the cells. So there it is. We now have color and we have changed the font and we have changed the font size. So there's also another way of how you can format or you can design your cells or your data. So you just highlight, for example, let's highlight in row 3 up to the end, row 15, and you go to the styles group. We have here the cell styles. So you just click the drop down arrow and it will show you different styles of cells that you like. So you just need to choose whichever you want. So for example, let's choose this light gray, 20% accent 3. Just click and there you go. Now I want to show you how does Format Painter works. It is under Home tab in Clipboard Group. For example, in column F, I will type May expenses. But I want this May expenses to have the same look as our April expenses. So I'll click on April expenses, go to Format Painter, click on it, and as you notice, our April expenses has this green colored running lines. And our cursor, it became like an outline symbol of a cross with a paintbrush. So let's click on our May expenses under column F and see what happens. Now there it is. It looks exactly the same as our April expenses. Now, if you wanted to copy this other data here, so just highlight everything. You can click on copy under clipboard group or you can press Ctrl C. There's as well like a running green colored lines. And then you copy the data here under column F, row 2. You can click Ctrl V or you can click the paste. Okay? Then you just need to adjust the column size. Now what I want to do is, I wanted to delete this May expenses because I don't need it. So you just highlight from column F up to column I. But just try pressing the delete button on your keyboard and see what happens. So just press delete and there you go. It just deleted the data, but the formatting is still there. And it will waste your time to again remove the border, remove the color, okay? So what you can do is, let's go back. Just you can click the undo button here on top or you can press Ctrl Z. Now, once you have highlighted everything, you just right click and you click delete. So it deleted all your data including the formatting. Everything has been removed. Now I wanted to see how many times I went for groceries. If you have a lot of data and you have went for groceries 100 times, it will be difficult for you to count one by one. So what we need to do is we need to filter the data in column C. So you can click here in April expenses, you can click here, it's fine, or you can highlight here, it's okay. And then you go to the editing group, we have here sort and filter, click on the drop down arrow and you choose filter. Then you will have your filter arrows. Or you can click Control, Shift, and letter L. Okay, there you go. Now you can filter your data in column C. So you just click the drop down arrow, you can untick select all, and then you just choose grocery and click OK. So 3 times you went for groceries for the month of April.
Really?
Okay, and then you go back, select all, and there you go. So now I wanted to see my items in column C to be arranged alphabetically. How to do that? So let's go ahead and highlight row 2 until the end of our data in row 15. But why row 2? Why not row 1? Because row 1, we merge the cells, and this is the title of our data. You know, Excel will not sort your data if you have a merged cell. Okay, just keep that in mind. So let's go to the editing group under sort and filter. First, we have here the sort from smallest to largest. So it means it will sort your data in column A from number 1 to number 13, as what we have now. And then we have here sort largest to smallest. In column A again, it will sort from number 13 going to number 1. Okay? So what we want to do is we wanted to sort the data in column C. So you go to custom sort. Okay? Then you have this pop-up window. We have sort by number. No, we will sort it by item. So because that's in column C. So sort on cell values. And the order will be from A to Z. You have also here from Z to A. So now we want to do alphabetically, so we'll choose A to Z. Then just click OK. Now there you go. As you can see, it was arranged alphabetically with checkup as the number 1 here, and then the last one is the telephone bill. So let's go back. Let's undo our work. So now I wanted to format the dates because I want to see the months in words. So I'll just highlight the months in column B. I can go to cells group, click format, and choose format cells. Then the pop-up window will appear. Or if after I highlight, I can click Control 1. Okay, it's the same. So we have here different categories, which one we want to format. So now we have dates, okay? And we have here the location. For now, my format is English, United Kingdom. So you can choose whichever location you want, but let's just settle in English, United States. Then it will show you different date formats. So you just choose which one you like. So for example, let's choose here, March 14, 2012 as an example. So this format. Click on it, click OK. There you go. Now we have changed the format of our dates. Now let's proceed to column D. I wanted to format the amounts. I want to see separator, currency, and decimal points. So just highlight all the amounts. And then you go here in the number group. So here we have the general. This is the format as of now. There's no specific format. That's why it's general. So click the drop down arrow. If you wanted to have decimal points, you can click the number. And then you can click currency for the currency, okay? Accounting. So it will have both the currency and the decimal points. So you'll click on it. Now there you go. As you noticed, there is this hashtag symbol. It means it doesn't fit in the cell, so we need to increase the size. There. Now, if you wanted to change the currency, if you don't like the dollar, so you highlight it again, you go again to number group, and click this drop down arrow under the dollar sign. So you can choose whichever currency you like, but these are limited choices. If your currency is not here, you go to more accounting formats, and then format cells window will pop up again. There you have the symbol, and when you click the drop down arrow, you have a lot of choices for the currency. So you can choose whichever you like, but for now we will have the dollar sign, and we have 2 decimal points. Then just click OK. And if you wanted to increase or decrease the decimal points, now you will go to here. There's 2 options. This one is to increase the decimal points. So let's click on it. There you go. This one is to decrease. See? Now let's just have 2 decimal points. Okay. So let's try to see our data. Let's go to print preview and see how it looks. Okay, it's taking time. Okay, there. So it's pretty well organized right now, but I wanted it to be in the middle of the sheet or the paper. So you can click this show margins at the bottom corner, right corner of your screen. So click show margins and then you can adjust the margin.
So you can go to the right or you can adjust both, whichever. Okay, if you want it to be in the center, yeah, just adjust and then you can go down as well. Well, it's up to you.
That's it for now. I hope you learned something from my tutorial. Please practice at home so you will familiarize yourself with the system and get used to it. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video as we keep learning Microsoft Excel. Bye!